Hello, welcome to my live today on YouTube. Today is Friday the 3rd of October and it's 6 o'clock p.m. UK time. If my voice is a bit funny, it's because I'm a little bit under the weather. So I'm going to do my best to stay focused. I've managed to do it up to this point today, so I should be okay for the next 1 or 2 hours, depending on whether I am needed here or not today. So for those who don't know me, I'm a therapist and coach, and I come here both on TikTok and YouTube to give advice, to help anyone who like me to discuss anything to do with mental health, therapy, psychology, human behavior, mindset, mindfulness, and anything to do with how we can enhance any aspect of our life from this perspective. And so the way that I start my live streams is always by reading and commenting on some posts that I put on social media on the day. So I'm going to do this now, and hopefully by the end of it, some of you would have gotten an idea of what I do, and maybe even the courage to ask me some things about you. And I do my best to give you some actionable, useful answers and recommendations. So let's get started. The first post that I put out today goes like this. Closure isn't always understanding. It is sometimes accepting the unanswered questions. And so understanding is power as far as healing and growth is concerned. However, sometimes when we are looking for answers because of the injustice we've been through in the past, it's not really answers that we want, it's justice. And justice cannot always be applied. And so the best thing to do at some point within our grieving journey or within our healing journey is to realize that we don't need to understand everything. We don't need to control everything. We don't need to have justice done, because there's a bigger world than the confines of our own expectations and projections. And we must just accept, now I have a choice. I can either dwell on the past and try to fix something that I have no access to anymore, or I can gather my energy, my time, my focus on healing myself, or even just enjoying my life now. There's a parable that is shared a lot, and it's the story of someone who gets shot by an arrow, and that person has a choice to either find a place of safety and get rid of the arrow, or stay on the spot wondering, what is going on? Who did that? Why? And this is pretty much the idea behind it. Sometimes we must accept that some questions will be unanswered. And it's okay, because the real reason we want to have those questions answered is not because of any other reasons that we want to feel safe. If I have an answer to my question, it means that I still understand how the world functions, and then now I can feel safer in the way I'm going to resume my life. So, hope it makes sense. All the words are taken. Hello, chat. Hello, Didi. Hope you are well. I'm okay. I'm a little bit under the weather, but I'll be all right. Hopefully, up to the end of the day, which is the end of the live today. Next post that I put out today, that I put out yesterday on TikTok, goes like this. The paradox of fear is that fear often feels safer than change. So this is very interesting, because fear is the one thing that we should be the most scared of. The nature of it is for us to freeze and to fixate and to stare at the thing that we don't know of. And this is the real job of fear. Fear really is not about getting us to be scared. It's getting us to focus on something that is new, different, that we don't know of, so that we can decide if it's a danger or if it's okay. However, because we don't know this, we feel the emotion of fear, and then instead of focusing and deciding, okay, what is fear trying to get me to focus on? What is that thing? Instead, we're going to think about the emotion, and now we're going to create some stories, some narrative that is going to make us scared. And change does that. When we have a problem with change, with growth, with healing, with new information, with changing lifestyle and habits, it's only because there's a part of us that doesn't feel safe within the uncertain, the unknown. And so the paradox of fear is that is there to keep us safe from change, when really all that it's meant to be doing is to get us to zoom in that thing that is new and different. This is actually very important and useful information. If we can realize that fear in itself is not bad, it's just hyper focus on that new information. That's it, on that new data. And how are we going to turn that data into an information? So, yeah. Next post. If you need to convince people that your feelings and boundaries matter, they're not your people. So this is quite straightforward. There's a difference between setting your boundaries and getting them to understand that your boundaries matter. So setting boundaries, a lot of us, we don't do this just because we don't know. We've never been taught how to do this. And it's not that people are all necessarily trying to invade us and control us, manipulate us, or hurt us. It's just that sometimes we have some dynamics of relationships that are of that nature because no one knew about boundaries back then. However, if we set boundaries, now we can have two reactions. Either people are going to realize, there's something new here, and I'm going to pay attention to that because that person's feelings matter to me. But on the other hand, there's going to be some people who are going to say, no, boundaries, not good. And then those people are the ones I'm talking about. People who are questioning your feelings and your boundaries are showing you an obvious red flags. If they don't change on the spot, if you can't get them to change after just explaining them that you don't like it, then it's better to move away from people who are behaving like this. Next post. If you don't know who you are in the process of becoming. Keep going. So this is very often something that people ask me. I don't know my purpose. I don't know who I am. What should I be doing? Well, just relax yourself into that process. The whole point of life is to discover, to explore who we are, what we are meant to be doing, what we like more than others. And the next post is an extension of that. And it goes like this. If you don't know what you want in life, you are in the process of exploring and discovering what you want. Just enjoy the journey. And so, yes, for those who are wondering the meaning of a life, the purpose of it, just go through it and you will find out as you walk that path. I hope it makes sense. So I haven't got any comment just yet. So I'm going to continue and read and comment on some more of my short videos. And hopefully at some point when you're ready, guys, just ask me anything. Again, for those who are new to my channel, that's why I come here. I'm not here to massage my ego by reading my own stuff. It's really about me showing you the sort of things that I'm into so that you can ask me questions about yourself and I can help you, hopefully. Okay, next post. Stop normalizing toxic behavior because your parents displayed them. So this is very common, and sadly, so many of us don't realize this, but we have a lot of toxic behavior. The only reason we don't change them is because we think that they're normal. And also, our parents used to do that. And so there's an emotional attachment to those behavior. If I change my behavior, it means that, it means that there's something wrong about my parents as well. And for a lot of people, they can't tolerate this, they can't accept this. And so they perpetrate some toxic, negative behavior with their kids, with their friends, and with anyone in the world, because there's an emotional attachment to the people who brought them up. I hope it makes sense. And do tell me if you disagree with me. I'm more than happy to explain things, or even be challenged, of course. Next post. You are not broken. You are stuck in a pattern that once kept you alive. And this is another very important insight. Everything that we are suffering from, and I often talk about it on my live streams, are systems that we have put into place to protect ourselves from whatever we went through back then when we were a child. So whatever we've been through has gotten us to adapt to those things and develop those systems that have now gone out of whack and developed in many different ways that are maladaptive and creating problems in life today. But it doesn't mean if we freeze, if we can't do things because we're overwhelmed by depression, if we if we suffer from procrastination extremely or whatever that it may be, it's not that we are broken. It's just that those patterns that we are suffering from are the development of things that we have put into place ourselves, and that have now developed and get a life of our own, and now it's affecting our life really, really badly. And so the reason why it's so important is that we must let go of the shame of thinking that there's something wrong about me. There's nothing wrong about anyone. Whatever that we suffer from is a natural consequence and evolution of whatever happened to us up to this point or throughout our life. And finally, the last post that I'm going to read today goes like this. You don't choose your romantic partners. You have relationship patterns inherited from your upbringing that choose for you. So this is another topic that I like to often talk about, because people don't realize that most of the things that we do are automated based on a subconscious emotional program, and that extends even to the people that we have in our lives. We don't really choose people. Our subconscious mind is going to influence us and allow us to choose certain people based on what we believe about ourselves, or on who we deserve, what sort of life we deserve. Is going to get us very excited about some people who remind us of the people who looked after us when we were a child. And so we are attracted to what feels familiar. Because of that, if we had a problematic childhood, we're going to keep attracting, and not only attracting, but being excited by problematic people, because they are going to radiate an energy that feels familiar. It feels like home. And so again, at a subconscious level, it feels kind of normal. And we're going to be repeating cycles again and again until and unless we realize this. So one more time, you don't choose your romantic partners. You have relationship patterns inherited from your upbringing that choose for you. Now, let me see, I can see some comments, so hopefully there'll be some conversations. Jazz, laughing, a smiling emoji. How can I see people regularly as I struggle to connect? What do you mean, how can I see people regularly? Could you expand and clarify your question, please, Jazz? I would love to answer this, but I don't understand. How can I see people regularly as I struggle to connect? You have, I'm going to just assume something and tell me if I'm wrong or not, but are you saying that you find it difficult to meet people and to have friends? Is that what you mean? If that is what you mean, there's all sort of things we can talk about, but did you always have that problem? Did you always feel difficult to connect with people? Or is it happening now? Has something happened in your life that has changed the way you feel about yourself in the world? I'm not sure. I need to know a little bit more about yourself, please. Just, if you don't mind. No one. Have a nasal deviation and I don't get enough oxygen through my nose. Do you have any tips? Those are stuff that are out of my scope. Anything that is to do with your physical structure. I'm not a doctor. I'm a therapist, and I address things to do with the minds, as in emotional and cognitive mind. And there's some correlation between how we feel, what we think, and how our body functions, absolutely. But you're saying, how I don't get enough oxygen from my nose. Do you have any tips? But I'm not sure. Let me try to think about it. I have a nasal deviation and I don't get enough oxygen from my nose. Do you have any tips? I don't know your condition enough to be able to suggest anything, I'm afraid. I can't help. If you can tell me more, maybe we can get somewhere. But at this point in time, I'm sorry, but nothing comes in my mind. Jazz, I find it hard to connect due to disability. Yes, okay. Yes, struggle to meet. I have autism. All right, I get it. My brother used to help me, but I'm not in contact anymore. Okay, so you have an awareness that you are neurodivergent. So the way your brain functions is different than what society expects from you. So what it means is that not everyone will understand you. Not everyone will get you. But also it means that for you, it's harder to understand society because your brain is not, doesn't function in the same way. People who are neurodivergent, we see things, we we notice things that neurotypical just accept. And so that's just 1 second, please. I'm waiting for the motorcycle to calm down. So that awareness that you have, use it first to remind yourself that you don't have to behave in a neurotypical, normal way, but you do need to have contacts. And so my advice to you would be to maybe hang out with people who are also neurodivergent, or people who understand people with neurodiversity. And there are more and more places and people like that, even at work. I used to use a place called WeWork as an office space. And I spoke to a lot of people, a lot of new companies, and they all had in the team a bunch of people who are obviously on the spectrum of autism, ADHD, or both. And it was great to see that they have created a structure that allows everyone to be themselves and to function within the company, but also to be seen and appreciated for what they are, because we teach people. And so what I'm trying to say is find your tribe, hang out with the right people. Don't try to just fit in and belong to any society, because it's not going to work. Find the right people, and eventually you will find at least one person, and then 2 or 3, and that's enough. And that will give you that connection that we all need. As human beings, we need to connect with other people, but we don't need to connect with everyone. We certainly don't want to connect with the wrong people. We don't want to connect with people who are trying to change us to expect something else than who we are. We shouldn't be showing anyone anything else but who we are. And so, yes, if you are disabled, you're talking about autism. Are you severely on the autism spectrum? Or do you also have some physical disabilities? But it doesn't make a difference. Whatever disability that you have, you want to, there are some places, structures that are designed to understand people who have your conditions better than others. So that'll be my suggestions. Jazz, thank you. All right, okay, thank you. Fantastic, thank you. I have mobility issues. Okay, so it's the same thing. There are some places who are catering for that, but some places, the places that are not, just don't go there. We will have some limitations and or preferences, and it's just for you to find out where you're going to focus your attempt at meeting people and where not to. But also online, there's a lot of things that you can find online. There's a lot of groups on social media, and I'm sure that you can find some groups first on social media that you may even be able then to meet in real, in face-to-face. Okay, thank you, Jazz. UK Medical Cannabis Patient Reviews said hi. Hello, UK Medical Cannabis Patient Reviews. And so, anyone else would like to talk about anything else at all? Thank you for the little heart. I don't know, I can read some more of my post if you want. And again, I'm going to do this, and the start of the live streams are always very slow, and then it catches up normally. But just so you know, guys, I'm here to help you out. So if I'm not needed, I'm also happy to resume my day doing something else, and I will come back. I come live on YouTube twice a week, every Wednesdays and every Fridays from 6 p.m. UK time up till 8 p.m. maximum. Normally, when it catches up, it gets busy by the end. But if it's really quiet and no one asks me anything, we all wish you a fantastic rest of the day. But yeah, speak to me, guys. Talk to me. Let me see. Okay, let me read some more posts. Then maybe 3 more. I will get a comment. No, it's not. It's the same. Let me read some more posts. The noise of the world can only affect you if you choose to listen to it. And so this is to highlight how there's a lot of noise and we tend to suffer from our perception of the world. Doom and gloom, it's all bad, it's getting worse and worse, everyone is terrible, what are we going to do? But the truth of the matter is that it's always been like that, it will always be like that. And even though it's true that there are some new situations that we have never seen before, if we zoom out, every decade, there's always been some stuff happening anyway. And what we want to do is to realize that what we choose to focus our attention on, we create how we feel about ourselves in this world. And so, in other words, if you feel bad about what is going on in the world, understand that you don't need to spend your life watching the news. You don't need to spend your life on social media, freaking out, being anxious, and being angry at the state of the world. There's a time and a place for everything. I myself use the social media as well to know what is going on, but I know that there's a limit every day to my exposure to this information because I don't want them to overwhelm me. I've got other things to do with my energy, with my mind, with my time. And so I remember when 2 years ago, when the situation in the Middle East started to become very, very bad, I was obsessed, and it really affected me physically, affected my health. I was always thinking about it. I felt so sad and angry and frustrated at the same time. And then I realized, I'm caught into that loop again. And so now I expose myself to what is going on, but I limit myself to this information. Because otherwise it's very easy to to be sucked back into that mindset of doom and gloom and helplessness. There's a time and a place for everything. We can try to do something when we can try to do something. But there are other moments where we can't do something about anything. So now we can let go of it, allow for the universe to take over and focus on the things that we have a power of influence on. Things that make us happy. Things that are important to our lives. I've got a comment from Condizo. Any advice for confronting toxicity of a parent? So that's a tricky one. It depends. How old are you? Do you still live with your parents? Are you underage or are you over 18? So that's the big question. If you're underage, you have to abide because of the law. And so you have to basically count the days so that at some point when you can fly with your own wings, you can say, guys, I love you, but I need to live my life and explore my own adventures. But if you are grown up, then you want to realize that you can change the way that you are addressing your parents. You can change the way you are with them. It doesn't mean that it's going to necessarily give you the outcomes that you expect, but to address the toxicity of a parent, you want to, first thing that you want to do is to learn how to see them from a different perspective. Again, they are your parents. So all your life you have seen them from the position of the child. And so they are huge, they are gigantic, they are almighty, powerful, they have authority, they have the last word, and there's nothing that you can do. And so whenever you see them like that, you're going to be overwhelmed emotionally and you won't be able to say anything. Or if you do say something, it's going to come out as clumsy and they will slap you on the wrist and you will be back into a place of frustration. And so see them like your equal. So it's a tricky one. That's why I need to know how old you are. If you're relatively young, it's going to be much harder. But if you are a bit older, then it's easier to see them just as regular people. And that will allow you not to fall back into that emotional place of they're huge, I'm tiny. But also, there's a lot of elements that we can brought here. So I need you to tell me if you have any specific thing that you want me to talk about in regards to that. But toxicity of parents, it's a big subject. There's no right or wrong. I don't know your story. So they could have been very toxic to you, or maybe they're just behaving the way they know, and it's problematic for you for all sort of different reasons. But toxic, you know what? Before I continue, I need you to tell me, what do you mean by toxic? What makes you use that word? What makes you feel that your parents have been toxic to you? If you can tell me that, it will give me a better idea of what I'm dealing with. Because again, what we consider as toxic, of course, if you say toxic, it means that it has hurt your feelings. And I accept that you are telling me that. This is a truth. But sometimes, if we can look at things from a different perspective and see the bigger picture, it doesn't sting that much. As much. So yes, Condizo, would you mind maybe telling me what you mean by toxicity? I'm becoming hot now. It's that season where you are between short sleeve and long sleeves. And so, yeah. So in the meantime, what I'm going to do, I'm going to talk about something else. But yeah, I'm happy to answer any questions, but if it's a vague questions, I do need more information. Otherwise, I don't want to mislead people and say the wrong things. Everything is really, really always contextual. So I need to know, have more of a context when it comes to any conversation. Okay, so next post that I'm going to read about goes like this. There's a time for comfort and there's a time for growth. Appreciate both. And I'm saying this because I see online a lot of posts where everyone is going, all your happiness exists when you come out of your comfort zone. And I'm like, no, it's not true. Sometimes you need to chill and enjoy your comfort, and it's okay. But there's a culture of, oh, you must hustle, you must try harder, you must be stronger, braver, and also hardship. Everything comes with hardship. All the good things in life only comes at the cost of sacrifice, and I totally disagree with that. There are instances where indeed it's needed, but it's not always the case. So we don't want to glorify hardship. We want to appreciate that it's okay also to enjoy your comfort every now and then. It's about the yin and the yang. And so, there you go. Next post. Because you are misunderstood doesn't mean that it is your job to explain yourself to them. So a lot of people will not agree with what we say, especially if we talk about trauma or wounds or conditions. Some people will question us. They will say things like, you're just trying to seek attention, everyone is depressed or anxious, you're just a crybaby, all those sort of things. If they say that, don't try to convince them, don't try to justify or explain. Try it once, maybe, to give them a chance, but then if they keep on being committed to judge you, it's easier to let it go. We are not meant to be liked by everyone. We must accept this. Some people will just not get us, and it's okay. We all have different filters, belief system, and experience in our life. And so whatever people think or say doesn't really matter. What matters is what we don't desperately try to fit in. We must find the right people again. The people who can see us and appreciate us for who we are, instead of trying to be accepted and understood by everyone. I've got a comment from Kondizo. Okay, I'm 27, but the toxicity is affecting my younger siblings. It's mostly my father. He's emotionally volatile. He yells all the time and expects everyone to not question him. Okay, so there's nothing much you can do about this. You're trying to change your father, and it seems that he's been doing this all his life, or at least as far as you are concerned. And so for you, I'd say create a space between you and your father. And for your siblings, tell your siblings, I'm here for you. If you have, whenever you can see me, talk to me, I want you to know that whatever Dad says, it's his projections of his own hurt. It's got nothing to do with you. And so be there to support your siblings that are younger and have no choice. But what you can do is to face your dad and try to tell him and see what happens. Now, the probability is that he's going to react to you and say, you don't know me, you don't realize what I've been through, you don't know all the things I have done for you. And this is also true, actually. But it's not about right or wrong. It's about finding a way to communicate so that people can better themselves. But if your dad is like that, it tells me that he has some unhealed wounds that will prevent him, most probably, especially from his son, or daughter, I'm not sure, to have that sort of conversation, right? So I'm not sure. Have you tried to speak to him? Have you tried to let him know that there's something wrong about him? And if so, did he react in any way? Emotionally volatile, he yells all the time, expect everyone to not question him. There's something that I can explain to you that can maybe help you a little bit. It's not going to change him, but it's going to change your perception of him. And it's not acceptable. But if we understand, it makes it a little bit easier. And so a lot of people, especially people from previous generations, know little, if not nothing, about mental health and emotional intelligence. And so what it means is that a lot of us, we have been taught that to navigate through this life, we have to be strong. We have to control our emotions. We can never be weak, and we can never show vulnerability, and we must always be successful, and life is hard, and it's full of bad people, and you must be a shark or a wolf to make it in this dog world. So this is the mentality, and it's not a mindset that anyone chooses. It's just that sometimes we are brought in a culture, in a family, in a community that teaches us those things. And because of that, now, maybe your dad has been going through life with that sort of mindset, going, it's a world full of bad people, and you have to be strong, and I need to run this family and make sure that everyone is safe. And so this is basically, he's raising you the way he has been raised. And it's not kind, and it's not helpful, and it's not clever, but it's the way things were done. And so maybe if you can see him through the eyes of compassion and empathy and realize it's true that he's horrible, it's true that he's unreasonable, and that he's emotionally immature, but it's not his fault. He suffers from it. He suffers from it in the same way that his parents suffered from it. It's what we call generational trauma. It's a form of generational trauma. We pass on some belief, some limiting belief, and some patterns of behavior that are toxic to ourselves and to people in our lives. And so if you can see this, at least that will ease the perception of things. It's not like he's a bad guy. He's doing his best. His best is not good enough because it's hurting you and it's affecting your siblings as well. But by understanding this, at least you don't see him like a baddie. You see him like a human being, and that can allow you to maybe have more, again, empathy and compassion, so that if you decide to talk to him, he may feel it. If you address him and you already are lifting your shield and your sword, then he's going to react to it and keep the control that he believes is so important for him to have. So there's that. There's also another element, is that a lot of men in a patriarchal society suffer from depression, but that depression is expressed through anger and emotional volatility. And that's because, again, they've been taught to repress their emotions, because boys don't cry. Men must be strong all the time. And so, because of that, they can't allow themselves to be sad, because they're too ashamed of that. So what happens is that energy stays in their body, and it's got to be expressed in a different way, and it comes through anger. What we don't realize is that the definition of the way we see depression is a very feminine version of it. And when I say feminine, it's within a patriarchal context. In the sense that we think people are always sad and crying when they're depressed. But with men, it's the opposite. They don't have sadness because they can't be weak. Instead, they get angry because it's actually not a bad thing to be angry in a patriarchal system. Anger is often mixed up with power, strength, control. And so now they are expressing themselves through anger. And so if a man is constantly angry and irritated, he could be suffering from depression, actually. And that's why a lot of people, there are twice as many men who unalive themselves compared to the female counterpart. And that's because they don't share it, they don't talk, they keep everything inside, and they're just angry, and no one spots it, because they don't see that the person is sad, they just see someone that is angry. And so maybe there could be that as well. So something to take into consideration. So yes, Condizo, is there anything that I said, was anything helpful? And do tell me more if you want, and I'm happy to go in more depth with that conversation if you want. UK medical cannabis patient, life's too short, do what's best for you. Yes. Well, I understand what you mean. My perspective is slightly different. The way that I see it is that life is not short at all. But that's because I teach mindfulness and meditation as part of the things that I teach within my practice. And so when you realize that time is an illusion, life is not short. Life is only short if you look at it from the perspective of the human being, the ego. And you're going to see, I'm a baby, I'm a young kid, I'm a grown-up, I'm old, I die. But really, if you are looking at things from the position of someone who practices mindfulness, time is just us trying to understand what's going on. But if you just are present, you have plenty of time. In that moment, there's nothing else, and you have plenty of life. Your life is literally made of time. I think people say that life is short compared to the expectations of what we should be accomplishing in their life. That's why we feel that life is short. If you have some ideas of what we should be doing, you want to use that time because it takes time to do all those things. But if you can be present and realize we do what we can do, and my desire are just my desire. My life is what I have now, and I must learn how to appreciate what I have right here and now. And as we do this, now we are able to do so much more of what we have. And we realize that there's no limit of time. As long as you're alive, you have time. You can never run out of time. You can only run out of time if you have some list of things that you want to accomplish. And this is what the ego wants. We're comparing ourselves with others. There's a little boxes to tick, little bucket list to fill up. And it's not like that. Everyone is different. Because everyone does those things before they are 30 doesn't mean that it's for you as well. We're all different. Just do your thing. Do what you can based on your own emotional setup and your trajectory in life. But yes, but I understand where you're coming from. UK medical cannabis. I just need to basically share how my brain functions. Tia. Oh, hello, Tia. Kundizo. I've tried talking to him about the yelling and he kind of stopped for like a week. Unfortunately, the whole thing is pulling the family apart because we can't be together peacefully. It happens. So do your best to talk to him, but sometimes shit just happens. We can't control everything. And so how is he pulling the family apart? Because you could actually speak to your family and make sure that everyone understands what you understand. Dad is not well. Dad is doing his best, but it's not good enough. And so if you can all understand that, then it may be easier for you, all of you, not to be pulled apart. Are there sides to be taken? And also, to be honest with you, if there are sides to be taken, and some people are deciding that some are the good guys and some are the bad guys, it was meant to happen. Things just happen. It's not just because of your dad. They already have an idea of who they want to believe and which side they want to be on. So just do your best to protect your siblings if they are on your side, essentially, if they are able to see what you see. Because they may believe that actually you're wrong and dad is right. It happens. So yeah, no, for the fact that you have a dad that is very disruptive, maybe suggest him that he may need some help. And if he doesn't want to take it, there's nothing you can do. People change only when and if they're ready to change. We can't change people. We can only guide them. We can influence them. We can show them how we do things ourselves in our life. And when they're ready, they will change. If not, no. But what you can change is how you feel about your dad. What you can change is how you can tell your siblings to interpret the behavior of your dad. It's never personal. When your dad is losing control, when he's getting angry, tell your siblings and remind yourself, but it's got nothing to do with you. It's not because of you. It's not because you've done something or said something that upset him. It's because he has his own baggage, his bundle of nerve for XYZ reason. He suffered and he still suffers from whatever happened to him throughout his life. And so it's all on him. His behavior doesn't reflect your worth. That's what you want to know. And remind yourself and tell your siblings. Just tell your siblings, dad is not well. Do your best to count the days, and when you can, get your life, move away from there, and then we can all heal together. Big Mama, hi, I'm new here. Hello, Big Mama. So I'm here to take questions and to talk about anything to do with psychology, human behavior, therapy, mental health, and mindfulness, and all of those things. So if you have any questions, do ask me, please. Kundizo, it's actually helpful because I've been trying to bring peace since I was 6 and I'm at the end of my rope. Okay, so don't try to bring peace. you've done it already and it didn't work. The more you are trying to bring peace, the more you're going to behave the same way you always behaved. And the more your dad reacted the same way he always reacted. Our relationships are all based on some subconscious dynamics that we have installed over the years. And so if you want to change anything, change your own behavior first. Change your own behavior. Change your strategies. Focus on telling your siblings and focus on creating a space for yourself as well so that you can let go of all the hurt that you have accumulated over the years because of your dad. But know that it's not on you. You don't have to change everything. We want to, because we are humans and we care for the people in our lives, but it's not your responsibility and it's not your mission. And you've tried and you will keep trying in different ways, but let go of the obsession. We have to change him because we also create a sense of identity in our family based on what happens. And so many of us believe that we are the carer. This is who I am. I'm the one who's looking after people. I'm the one who maintains peace. I'm the one who makes sure that everyone is happy. And because of that, if you are that person, which sounds like, I'm not sure, but if you are that person, then it means that you're going to suffer from that all your life, with all of your relationships, and starting with your actual family now. Let go of that. Think, you know what, I've tried. Now, I wish you the best of luck, but I mean to surrender and allow for the universe to do its job. The universe is there and it can do its stuff, and feel that we're all supported and things will the best thing will happen at the right time, as long as you keep an eye on your siblings, as long as you are firm whenever you speak to your dad and you know you can speak to him precisely so that he knows how you feel, but also set boundaries. So maybe it's a thing that we haven't talked about yet, but when it comes to those sort of situations, you want to set boundaries with your dad. And setting boundaries is not about telling him what you like or what you dislike. It's about telling him, if you do this, if you keep doing this, I will do that. And then do it. So that he knows that you mean business. And that may help into changing his behavior, or it may make things worse. It doesn't matter, because now you are changing something. And something must change. Do you know that your old system didn't change? You've done it from the age of 6 to the age of 27. So it's been 21 years. It didn't work. It's not going to work anymore longer that you try. So change the system and see what happens, and learn how to recalibrate accordingly, one step at a time. UK Medical Cannabis, hello again. Big Mama at Jazz, thank you for the questions you asked, as I too have autism and have disabilities. So Big Mama, is there anything that you would like to ask me about how I can improve any aspect of your life? We can talk about it. My husband is on the autism spectrum. And also, I'm a mental health professional, so yeah. Alita, how can I help my daughter with depression? You want to be there for her. You want to, you want to listen to her. You want to try not to change her. Basically, tell her, I'm with you. I accept you, and I love you for who you are. And if you feel ready to change at some point, we can try something. We can get you to see some people. We can do all sorts of different things. But the main thing is to not insist on getting that person to change. Very often when we have someone close to us who suffers from depression, we're going to say, why don't you do this? Why don't you try this? We're pushing our face into them. We don't realize that they are overwhelmed, and that's why they are depressed. Depression is when our mind shuts down. Our mind shuts down because we are overwhelmed. Depression is a system that protects our mind. It's like a short circuit, prevents so that it doesn't fry because there's too much overload of stress, anxiety, sadness, helplessness, whatever it is. And so this is an aspect of depression that a lot of people don't realize. The first reason of depression, just 1 second, please. I want to sneeze, but it's stuck somewhere here. Sorry, I'm a bit under the weather. The first role of depression is to protect us by shutting down our emotions. So we're avoiding certain feelings and emotions because we're scared of them, because we're overwhelmed them, because we're too ashamed of them, whatever it is. But also, depression is a disconnection, and this is a different way to look at it. Um, if we have been disconnected from something very important to us, so our body, emotions, feelings, but also it can be a disconnection from our purpose, our dreams. It can be a disconnection from our family, from feeling safe in our tribe. It can be a disconnection from nature. It can be a disconnection to all sort of things. But if we have disconnection, the depression is also there to remind us that we have disconnected from something important to us. And so there lies the answer and the solution. The best way to deal with depression, if we can locate what it is that we have disconnected from, then we want to reconnect to that thing, and then that will help us start a healing journey and basically not need the depression anymore. Does it help? Alita, I'm more than happy to explain this, but again, I'm trying my best to be helping people as precisely as possible. So if it's a vague question, I would just pour out whatever I think about it in a moment. But I can absolutely be more precise if you give me more details about your daughter, please. Do you have depression yourself? Is there a history in the family? Are you happy? Is everything okay in your life? How old is your daughter? Is she possibly on the spectrum of some neurodiversity spectrums? Big Mama, connection can be difficult. I have begun to start my own mindfulness practice. It really helps. Fantastic, fantastic. Yes. So yes, mindfulness is a great thing to do, and for people who have autism, if you know how to do this, it can really be a game changer. I know that my husband loves the meditation practices that he does. Yeah. Dev.net. I'm anxious dialysis patient. What you suggest to calm myself? Dialysis, you mean diagnosis, right? So if you want to calm yourself, the best thing to do, it depends, because anxiety is a big word. There's a lot of different reasons as to why someone may be anxious. But in a nutshell, again, because I only have a few words here, anxiety is a system, just like all the things that we suffer from, but it's there to protect us, to look after us. So something has happened, and you didn't feel safe, and you have not been given a system, a coping mechanism to deal with that thing. And so the anxiety now comes into your mind to do this for you. It's a part of you that wants to protect you from what hurt you in the past. And because you have not been taught how to deal with this if it happened again, the anxiety is there to remind you that the world is dangerous. And it can be an anxiety that is down to the things that you think. So if that's the case, you want to change your thoughts. But sometimes it's nothing to do with thoughts. Sometimes it's so deep that we just feel anxious because of things that we don't know why. And the reason why it happens is because at a subconscious level, there are things in our surroundings that are triggering that part of us that wants to protect us. So maybe there's a smell, there's a sound, there's an ambience, something about our surrounding that reminds us of when something bad happened to us. So now the anxiety is coming back, thinking, you're back into that kind of configuration. It may happen again. So now we're feeling anxious. And so what sort of anxiety are we talking about? Do you have social anxiety? Do you have some specific type of anxiety? Do you want to tell me more about yourself, please? Dev.net. Kundizu. Everyone sees it, including my mum. I'm going to focus on healing, like you've said. Thank you so much. Okay. So if everyone sees it, then with your mum, it's a tricky one, because your mum, she's allowing this as well. So it's not something that she's doing necessarily consciously. She's limited by her own wounds as well, as we all are, right? But your mum, she's been married to your dad and living all that life and raising all of you, and so she has a part of responsibility. She has allowed for someone that is emotionally unstable to stay in a family cell and hurt her children and herself. So your mom is not like she's not trying. She knows, but she's also overwhelmed by whatever baggage she has about her past, because she's still allowing this. if you are a mum that doesn't have any baggage, you will not allow and tolerate this. If you know that someone is going to be hurtful to you and the children, you set boundaries. You say, no, not in my house, not in my home, not today, not ever. But she allowed it. And so this is something to be aware of. We all have a baggage and we're all doing our best. But it's not as if there's one good guy and there's a bad guy. We're all doing our best. And if you can understand this, then that will make it easier, right? That will make it easier for you to deal with that, but also to teach your siblings, you know what, they are dealing with their things, don't take it personally, it's got nothing to do with you, and as soon as you can, move out and start to work on yourself to heal yourself from whatever belief that you have inherited from that family situation. Anek Marok, depression. So I have just one word, depression. Do you want to string a sentence together so that I know what you'd like me to talk about in regards to depression, please? Do you suffer from depression? Do you know someone who does? Please tell me more. Benjamin, oh, hello, Benjamin Kibler. Hello, Didi, hope you are doing well. Good to see you live. My mother is doing better, fantastic, thank you. She's just having a hard time sleeping, waking up at 3 a.m., not falling back asleep once she gets this controlled. I think it will help. Sleep is very important. Indeed, sleep is the number one most important thing for all of us. Out of our lifestyle habits, sleep is the one thing that if we don't do well enough, and enough sleep as well, so the quality, but the quantity as well, then we're going to be more fragile, and we will suffer from all the things that we have more. When we sleep, we are healing and rejuvenating all part of our brain and body, but also we are in a better state the next day. If we have some conditions, if we suffer from depression or anything at all, then the less sleep we have, the more easily we are triggered, offended, activated. The more we react to everything outside and inside of us, the more easily it is for us to feel overwhelmed. And so sleeping is very important. Eating, drinking water, you know, moving, doing something, socializing, doing things that make you happy, that makes you feel good. Big Mama. But I'm glad that there's some positive in the things that you said. Thank you, Benjamin. And hello, Mama, if you're watching this live or on replay. Big Mama, I too am qualified in mental health and spiritual practices. Okay, good on you. I'm having an issue with my confidence. Okay, I think it's my autism. I also have ADHD, and I'm looking to get diagnosed officially for meds. How can I speed up the process of diagnosis? I want to get back into work, but haven't worked in 10 years. Thank you. I won't be able to help you with speeding up diagnosis process, I'm afraid, because I'm still waiting for mine. There are some people who says you go to the website, or, I don't know about the thing. I believe that the NHS is overwhelmed. They don't have enough funds, and so it's going to take some time. It's going to take some time, I'm afraid. But we can talk about your issues with confidence. If you lack of confidence in regards to what you do, and it could be also exacerbated by the fact that you are autistic, indeed. Because when it comes to autism, people who are on the spectrum, they need to have things in control. Things need to be predictable. And so there's a lot of extra pressure to feel safe. And so what I'd say is that if you have anything to do with imposter syndrome, just know that what you know, what you've been doing so far in your own life is what you are. And that's enough. You're not comparing, don't compare what you do with any other one, with anyone else. You are your own product. Whatever that you do with people, the most important aspect of you is you. Is what you know, is what you've been through, is what you can feel, and all of those things on the top of your qualifications and the things that you have interest, all those things create you, and you are unique, and no one can compare with you. And so, yes, we tend to lack confidence when it comes to work, because we believe that we may not be enough to reach some standards. But there are no real standards. As long as you are doing your best every day to expand your mind and become better at what you do, you will always become better anyway. And so, yes, accept that you are not perfect, just like me, no one is. But as long as you keep an open mind, as long as you have a growth mindset, and that you're obsessed in becoming better, that's all that you can do, and that's all what you want to do anyway. Does it help, Big Mama? If you want to get back to work and haven't worked in 10 years, just be patient. Things happen when they happen. The more you try to rush something, the more, if there's no result, the more you are creating suffering for yourself. You're going to stress out when try something, and if it doesn't work, let it go. Surrender and trust the universe to look after you and to bring you better opportunities and options the next moment. Pumpkin Puff, hi Didi, how are you today? I'm okay. I'm a bit under the weather, I have to say, but I'm here, and so there you go. Anita, thank you so much. I suffered from narcissistic abuse. I think my daughter was always trying to keep the peace and never had the chance to be seen. She's 19 and is a very loving girl. Okay, all right. So yes, if you suffer from narcissistic abuse, she has suffered from it too, either directly or indirectly or both. And so that would explain the depression. If you suffer from narcissistic abuse, what it means is that unwillingly, unknowingly, you have taught helplessness to your daughter because she has observed you and she's seen you being manipulated and hurt by that narcissist. And so she's learned, what can mom do? Nothing. And so that is going to create some depression. So something that you could do yourself is to work on yourself and maybe show her that you are changing, you're healing, and you're no longer the same person that you used to be. And that even if she's 19, as you change, she will realize, mom is changing, I can change as well. So that's something that you could do. There's a very important quote that I use a lot. I think it's from Ram Dass, and it goes like this. The only thing that I can do for you is to work on myself. The only thing that you can do for me is to work on yourself. And this is it. What I suggest to you is to work on yourself and show your daughter that the past is the past, and we're not going to repeat it anymore, you and I. Yeah. Other than that, if I could speak to your daughter directly, that would be more helpful because yeah, because I don't know what she's thinking, but I know only what you are thinking, and that's why I am addressing you, right? It's not because I'm on a secret mission to blame parents. It's not like that. So we'll do what we can. No one chooses to suffer from a narcissistic relationship. But narcissistic relationship creates trauma. And so there's a type of PTSD that is called complex Post Traumatic Stress Disorder. And this is typically one of the situations. If you live with someone that is always belittling you, always hurting you all day long, then that will dent your self-esteem and your happiness and eventually change the structure of your brain because you need to adapt to that. And this is diagnosed as CPTSD, living with a narcissistic person. John Cameron, I am listening. Okay, thank you. Big Mama, I agree with you, and thank you, Big Mama. Alita, since she's very caring, she's always putting everyone's needs first. She can't name her feelings, which is obvious, since I'm not very emotionally intelligent. She can learn. So this is the thing. So it's true that what you say may be absolutely true. I can see that. Most of us, we are not emotionally intelligent because no one teaches us this. But just like with everything, we can all learn, right? And so I suggest you to maybe explore that avenue, explore emotional intelligence, and teach your daughter. Maybe you can do this together. Find a way to to connect with your emotions and to realize that emotions are not the enemies. They are the energies that we need to experience to have a human experience. Dev.net. Dialysis. Oh, I thought diagnosis. Dialysis. Okay. So dialysis is the process of artificially cleaning blood because okay, you're right. So It did ring a bell, but I thought diagnosis because my mind was into the psychology realm. So you have a dialysis. It's the process of artificially cleansing blood because my kidneys doesn't work well. My anxiety is related to the dialysis process, which can be tough, and now I'm always in fear of repeating. ... So let's address this. Yes, I can talk about this. So you have an anxiety because you are worried that your dialysis doesn't work. So I want you to realize that worrying will not make anything better. So what you want to do is to trust the process and do your best to do the best that you can each moment at a time. Know that there will be some moment where things can be not so great. It may be messy, can be painful, can be uncomfortable. But the process is about you learning how to do it better. So everything that you're going to go through is part of you learning how to have a better relationship with the dialysis and whatever happens to it. We can't control the future. We can't know what's going on. But if you worry about something, now you're creating in your imagination an experience that is negative. And it's only in your head because right around now, it's fine. And so instead of doing this, think, okay, I'm going to trust the process. I'm going to do my best to learn and to recalibrate and to adjust and to know how to make that experience better for me. Right? You have to accept that this is the way it is. And so change your mindset and replace the anxiety, which is protecting you from a future that doesn't exist, with what can I do about it now? And if there's nothing that I can do about it now, I'm going to accept that this is it, and I'm going to choose to think about something else. So if you feel anxious about the dialysis, it's because you're thinking about it all the time, and it's understandable, totally. I would as well. And then I realized, okay, now it's happening. What can I do about this? I can accept that it's happening, and I'm going to learn what I need to learn every day more and more to make my life as comfortable as possible. But whenever I'm done with that and there's nothing else that I can do in the moment, then I must redirect my thought in a place that makes me feel good. So I'm going to think about things that makes me feel happy. I'm going to think about things, I'm going to do things that relaxes me, that I enjoy, so that I don't keep thinking about the thought that creates anxiety about what could happen, what may happen, what I believe will happen. So yes, the more you worry about something when it comes to physical health, the more you're actually creating problems because your body is in a state of stress and your body needs to relax so that it can heal, so that it can create new cells, so that it can adapt to whatever new situations that your body has to adapt to. So yes. Does it help? Big Mama. Yes, you have helped me a lot today. Fantastic. Thank you, Big Mama. Pumpkin Puff. Oh no, I'm sorry you're sick. I wish you a quick recovery. It's okay, it happens. It's just life. It does suck, but it could always be a bit better, it could always be worse. But also, we must realize that we will always go through ups and downs all throughout our lives. And so I accept this with grace. And I'm not frustrated. I'm not angry at it. I'm thinking, it's not great, but it happens. And I will get better at some point. And in the meantime, if you can, I'm going to blow my nose. In the meantime, I'm going to do the best that I can with whatever I have. So I can't talk to you. If I couldn't, I wouldn't be here doing a live. But I can still make this happen. So it's not that bad. But thank you for the kind words, nevertheless. Pumpkin Puff. Lynn. Oh, hello, Lynn. Good evening, Didi. Hope you feel better soon. Thank you. I'm sure I will. Thank you so much. Pumpkin Puff. I feel like I'm in a dark tunnel. Husband and I got in an argument again yesterday. He saw your live. Just 1 second, please. Sorry, my watch is telling me that it's time for me to post my third TikTok post of the day. So I'm going to do this straight away before I forget it forever, and then I'll get back to you. What you want in life, it's not a problem. Yeah, no. Every musician charges for. Okay. Okay. So, Pumpkin Puff. I feel like I'm in a dark tunnel. Husband and I got in an argument again yesterday. He saw your live, okay? So when I began to be frustrated, I walked away. He followed, I moved away again, and he continued. I explained not to continue the conversation because I was well past logic. He said he was helping, but it just felt like I was being ignored and pushed over an edge. So tell him and set boundaries. Remember boundaries. Boundaries doesn't mean I don't like it. It doesn't mean stop it. It means if you keep doing this, I will be doing that. Come up with something and then make this happen. He will not get it. Even if he comes with the best intention, he will just keep doing because you have habit. You've been doing this for a long time, so it's just something that is installed. So the way to break this is to show something different. And so set boundaries. Tell him, if you keep doing this, I'll be doing that. If you keep following me, I'm not going to speak to you up till the end of the day. Oh, finally, it's out. And then take action. Say, you know what? I told you. Now I'm going to lock myself in the bedroom, watching some stuff on Netflix or whatever, and I don't speak to you because you pissed me off. And then hopefully that will create some reactions, and he will maybe then behave differently next time. Whenever you get angry at something, there's a part of you that's telling you basically that how is challenging you to think it differently so that you can do something about it better. Think about it like that. Instead of just feeling frustration, and helplessness. Why is it always happening to me? Why are people never listening to me? All those sort of things. Instead, replace it with, okay, how can I make it better? What can I do about this? And so what you can do about this is to tell him, you're hurting my feelings. If you care about me, stop it. If you keep doing this, then we're not going to be friends very long. It means that you don't care about my feelings. And maybe he does care, but he doesn't know how to, and he needs to be told. And he will only learn if you set boundaries and you apply them. Does it help, Pumpkin Puff? Alita, thank you for your advice. It helps a lot. Fantastic. Thank you, Alita. Pumpkin Puff, thank you for your heart. We eventually got to some point of understanding, but we aren't really talking without a lot of tension. I am angry because I feel like I'm always the point of blame when all I'm trying to do is ... explain how I feel, and that I need him to consider that before a response instead of getting into a long argument that I wasn't emotionally regretted to have them blamed for my reaction. If I stop talking, he will insist over and over that I talk to him so he can help me. It feels like my feelings are ignored, but he doesn't care, which I have told him. But then you said yourself, if I stop talking, he will insist over and over that I talk to him. So if you think about it cognitively, he wants to help you. He wants to talk. He wants to listen to you. And so it goes both ways. So I'm not going to read the next one because I need to answer that before. But essentially, when you get into those mental space, you're creating a narrative that is emotionally controlling you. And basically, the narrative is, no one ever listens to me. And my husband is one of them. So now you are seeing your husband as someone bad, subconsciously. And because of that, your whole body is reacting to him and trying to protect. And now your husband is saying, I want to talk to you, which is a clear sign that he cares about your feelings. But in that moment, you can't let it in because in that moment, you are being hijacked by your emotional mind. And so what you need to do is to get out of that state. As long as you're in that physical state, you will not be able to see him coming with an olive branch trying to make peace. Just based on what you read, right? He's trying to speak to you. So it means that he wants to do something about it. And so what you need to do when you get into the spaces is to change your physical state. So you can go for a walk. You can have put some ice water on your face. You can do some breathing, mindful breathing. You can shake. You can do all sort of things, but find a way that works for you, that you can move away from that state of to peace and mental clarity. Until you do that, you won't be able to see what is happening. Your mind will interpret it like something dark and negative. He's bad. He's trying to attack me. I must protect. Why are they always doing this to me? So the first thing is to change your physical state. As long as you stay like that, and it can last hours, days, weeks, your whole life, And as long as you stay in that state, you will not be able to even see it if he was giving you flowers and on his knees, because you will still see someone, but it will not be enough. And so, because in that moment you are back into the position of the child, you are back into that emotional space where you were back then when people were mistreating you, and you're reacting the same way you did then. And so if you had helplessness, you will feel helpless, and you, yeah, you'll be repeating the same experience from the past again with your husband now. And so, again, I'm just guessing based on the things that you're telling me, but am I correct so far? If your husband is trying to speak to you, it means that he cares about your feelings, right? Or do you disagree with that, like now? What do you say, Pumpkin Puff? So let's go back to the previous comment. Dev.net. Thank you. It does help. You are gentle and dedicated in your answers. Subscribe. Fantastic. Thank you, Dev. I appreciate your support. Meg said hi. Hello. So now we're back on Pumpkin Puff, and there was one more comment. He wants me to forgive him so he can work on acting differently immediately after argument, but I'm so far gone by that point. So tell him forgiveness is something that I give you when I feel ready for that. You can't force forgiveness, because otherwise, if he does that, it means that he just wants things to be okay, and it's not. He's basically not taking accountability for his input into the situation. When it comes to a relationship, it's always 50-50. It takes two to tango. And so when a bad situation happens in a relationship within a couple, for the situation to move on, both parties must acknowledge their part of the equation. So maybe one of you has more baggage. So I'm not sure. Is it you who's got borderline personality disorder or not? I'm not sure, because I speak to a lot of people. But let's say if you have BPD, then that will explain why you are more easily emotionally dysregulated than your husband. And so he will need to remember this, and it's part of his job as your spouse to meet you in between. As opposed to expect someone to be perfect the way we want it, we are both working together to create a journey where we are going to regulate and adjust and adapt to one another and heal together. And so the very important aspect of it is that he must realize that just because you said sorry doesn't mean that you deserve forgiveness. Saying sorry doesn't mean I was wrong. Saying sorry means I care about your feelings and I want you to feel better. And I hope that you can forgive me at some point when you are ready. And if you don't forgive me, it's also okay. Accept this. Accept that you have your own baggage and maybe you've been hurt more than I thought you would be. And so because I love you, I'm going to be patient. I'm going to wait for this. And that's what you need to know. And at some point, if he says that to you, you will get it. And you will no longer see the enemy. But that's for him to do. And you have your things to do as well. Again, 50-50. It's always two. Again, when we are having a clash in a relationship, it's because in that moment, we are seeing the enemy. They're reminding us of our caregivers or our bullies or anyone who hurt us in the past. So in that moment, that person is not my husband or my wife or my spouse. They are the enemy. And so now in that moment in the room, you have two people seeing something different. But if you could both see that person is the person that I've chosen to be with, and so now it's different. Oh, how are we going to make this happen? How are we going to learn how to see things from the same perspective and both show the others that we are willing to do something about the situation to make it better for the both of us? We don't want to try to change the others. We want to do something from us. What can I change about myself? But it's got to be from two people. So we can remind the other person, you've got to do this as well. But we don't want to believe that it's just them versus us. It's always two to tango. So yes, does it help? Pumpkin Puff. Craig McBride. Hi, Didi. Your shorts are full of great advice. They make me feel unworthy. I hope you mean they make you feel worthy. Because if it makes you feel unworthy, then it's absolutely not what I was trying to achieve with my shorts. I would assume that's what you meant. Pumpkin in puff. Yes, exactly. I'm repeating my past responses. My father was very manipulative, and after argument, I just sit in a small area and froze until I was regretted. So this is the thing. When you have an argument with your husband, you see your father. Change this. Tell yourself, it's not my father. It's my husband. And he's got nothing to do with my father, and I don't want him to be my father. I don't want him to behave like my father did. I don't want me to feel the way that I felt like what I was dealing with my father. And so this to happen, change your perspective of that situation and him. See him through the lenses of love and compassion. See your husband like the little boy he was, that had been through what I've been through. See him through a different perspective, instead of seeing your father. Pumpkin puff. Yes, I have BPD and PTSD. Okay. So that explains this. So if you have BPD and PTSD, you must be aware of your own difficulties to regulate how you feel. But for your husband, he must be reminded of that as well. And it's not for him to take the crap out of you because you have a condition. Again, the two of you must meet in between, with love and consideration for each other's history and limitations at this point in time. It takes time to change, and as long as you both want to change together, you are all right. I believe that those are the best relationships, is knowing that we can heal together. Because also, the reason why your husband is with you is because he has some baggage as well. I don't know what they are, but for someone to marry and live with someone who's got BPD and PTSD, they have some baggage as well. Otherwise, they wouldn't understand even. There's a part of them that believes that maybe they are there to look for other people, to care for them, whatever it may be. They have something that has invited someone like you with your conditions into their life. So you complete each other's narrative. And so there's something that he must address as well. Pumpkin puff. Sorry for all the messages. I just feel so lost. Don't be sorry, not at all. That's what I'm here for. So please keep asking, keep messaging, and show your husband that video as well if he's not doing it now already. That's what I'm here for. Red Rin, would attachment theory help in this situation? I don't know what you mean by attachment theory, because there's a lot of different type of attachment theories. And so, would you mind clarifying your question to me, please? Sonia Harrell, I have quit smoking May this year, but my husband won't. He won't even consider trying or cutting down, and gets very angry if I mention I hate the smell. He's even suggested I start smoking again. Okay, so you have to choose your health, your happiness, or your husband. If he's angry, if he doesn't want to, it depends how much you care for him. If you love him so much that you want to change him or you want to be with him, then you will have to give away something, right? But if you care about you, now maybe you tell him, you know what, I can't deal with that. I'm sorry that you are like that you can't change, but it stinks if you don't care about my feelings, if you don't care about my health, if you don't care about my happiness, let alone yours. Then we're not going to be together anymore. You have to make choices. Sometimes we need to, and it doesn't have to be nuclear. Sometimes by just speaking out your truth, you can shake someone so that they can realize, she means business. You know, they want to change, but you have to do something about it. If you say that he's getting angry and considering you to smoke again, it means that he doesn't care about you. Just based on what you said, and again, I know that there's more than just words, but just based on what you say, for me, it's huge red flags. So maybe consider this. What is more important to you? Are you ready to be happy, to meet the right people in your life? Or are you scared that you can't meet anyone better than your husband who's treating you badly? And again, I don't mean to be horrible, but sometimes we don't realize the things that we're doing to ourselves. Sometimes we stay in a relationship because, not out of love, but out of fear. And so the difference is that if I love my husband, for instance, I'm sticking with him because I love him. I'm happy whenever I see him in the morning and at night. I see his face, spending time together. I'm just happy thinking about him. Something is good. But some people stay in a relationship not because they love spending time and growing together with that person. They're staying in the relationship because they believe that that's all I can get. He doesn't treat me very well, but he's still someone. He's got some good qualities. We can make excuse for them because we deserve that we believe that this is all that we deserve. Right? So again, I don't mean to be horrible, but if, just based on what you said, if he doesn't care about you having so successfully stopped smoking and he's telling you to smoke again, it's terrible. It's very, very, very bad. Yeah. So spend some time thinking about it. We normalize a lot of things. And again, we live in a very patriarchal society. So sadly, too many of us are still being conditioned to accept things that we shouldn't accept. And so very often in relationships, men who have this sort of mentality won't budge because they feel that they have power and control. And women should be submissive. You are the wife, you listen to me, I'm the one in charge. I smoke, you don't tell me what to do, and this is just not good enough. You deserve better than that. And he can change as well, maybe. But the first step before he changes is for you to change. That could prompt him to change as well. What do you think about it, Sonia? Camilla, hey Didi, I just stopped to say hi. Thank you for helping people. Thank you so much, Camilla. Pumpkin Puff, yes, it's very hard to be aware of my feelings and my boiling point sometimes because I become so frustrated. Yes, so remember this. It's not that it's very hard, it's impossible. If you have BPD, when you get into that boiling point metaphor that you used, it's a very good metaphor, then you can do nothing. You are literally hijacked, possessed by your BPD. There's nothing you can do. That's your condition, accept it. What you can do, however, in that moment is to move yourself away and do some breathing, have a cold shower, dance, move, shake, and then you can work before or after. And when it's happening, there's nothing you can do. Accept it. Don't feel bad about it. Don't have shame, thinking, oh, why did I do like that? Because that's your program. That's literally the result of all those years of a lifetime of trauma. So accept that in the moment and tell your husband, in the moment, there's nothing you can do. But you can do something after and before. Right? And eventually, the ring will start to shift and become easier and easier. But first, you must let go of shame and guilt. We do that when we have BPD. Oh, what's wrong? Why did I do it again? Why can I never change? Why can I never learn? Why am I so stupid? Oh, I hate myself. And I understand this. I was like that for most of my life. But you must really accept that when you are in those states, again, it's like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, or the Incredible Hulk. For the younger people watching, you are turning into something else. You are not that person anymore. You are not the reasonable version of you. You are the emotional child that will do anything to stay safe. Not to be abandoned. Not to be hurt again. Sonia, thank you for your honesty and advice. I really appreciate it. Fantastic. Thank you, Sonia. Thank you. Pumpkin Puff, I just don't want to feel like I'm being blamed for failing to be aware of how my feelings affected me. So it's very easy. If you don't want to be blamed for that, speak out your truth. Tell them, but not when you are angry. When you are calm, tell them, remember, I've got BPD. I've got PTSD. I didn't choose to be traumatized. I didn't choose to be abused, to be neglected, to be hurt. I didn't choose any of those things. If you believe that I have chose, you are insinuating that I have chose that. I didn't. No one chooses this. So I need you to accept this when you talk to your husband and tell him, I want you to see me for who I am. I need your help. I'm a little girl who is hurt and who believes that you love me and you can help me through your love and acceptance, not your judgment, not your assumptions, not your ignorance of mental health. Now you don't have that excuse anymore. I'm teaching you, I'm reminding you. So we need to remember that we're all different and indeed we come with baggage, and that's what getting married with someone is about. We must accept that person with all the baggage and learn how to travel together with as little baggage as possible. So I'm being blamed for failing to be aware of how my feelings affect me. When he also failed, it feels like a cycle that I don't know how to fix. So you say, when he also failed. So again, it's normal, but now you're again going tit for tat. an eye for an eye. I did that, but you did that. So now you are fighting. You're the enemy. I want to win. I want to have the last word. And now, when you are into that space, nothing good is going to come out of it. Again, remind yourself, find a way to regulate your nervous system. And then next, who are we? What are we doing what are we doing together? And then that will remind you, we're going to try to understand what happened. And we're going to forgive each other, to support each other. We're going to be patient for each other. And we're going to accept each other unconditionally. I love you the way you are. We all have baggage. We all need to heal. And so it's okay. No one is perfect. I'm not perfect. You're not either. We're going to do it together. But I accept you already for you are. Right? I accept you because I know that you want to change. And we're going to do it together. Thank you for the little hearts. Sonia, you're right. I am scared. I don't want to break up the family for our children's sake. You will do better by your children will be happier if they have two parents that are both happy separately than two parents together being miserable. Whatever you go through in life, your children are observing you and absorbing the energy in the household. So whatever you go through, if you're being diminished, if you're being belittled, if you're being ignored and manipulated by your husband, they're going to suffer from that. They're literally downloading that and they're going to believe, mom is being abused by that guy. So what does it say about me? I'm the same. And so in their adulthood, they will allow some sort of situation to happen to them because they learned it from you. And so I'm not saying this again to be horrible, but it's just for you to realize that being together at any cost is not necessarily the best solution. We believe that because we've been told by society, religion, for better or worse, but it's not like that. The happiest kids that I know are kids that are from parents that are divorced. And obviously, we want for the divorce to go as well as possible. But living in a toxic environment is the worst thing that can happen to kids because it affects their own psyche and perception of selves. And so, yeah, unless it's financial, in which case, it's a tricky one. It's for you to find out whatever is the easiest path for you at this point in time. But take into consideration everything that I said. Sonia, he also tells me I'm crazy or acting like I did when I had mental health struggles in the past. When I try to stand firm or change anything, it's so hard. So basically, you suffer from all of those things, potentially and very probably because of him as well. So see it like that. If he's not supporting you, he's making you worse. When it comes to mental health, if we don't have the support of someone, not only do we have to deal with our trauma, but we have a second trauma. The trauma of not being seen, not being believed. As if, you're just making things up. Something wrong with you. You're not trying hard enough. And this is horrible. Now you are getting a second serving of trauma. And so if he's telling you that you are crazy, to me, it tells me, don't stay with him. Take your time to create a strategy that you can leave your household and take your kids with you. Or not take your kids with you, but basically have two households so your kids can move from one to the other. That would be my advice to you. And if it seems very hard and complicated, break it down, take your time, but do this. Don't allow for this to happen because it's not going to help you. It's not going to help your kids. It's not even going to help your husband. Because it's going to only reinforce and confirm his reality, and he suffers from that too. Because no one chooses to be horrible to others, or to be ignorant, or to be stupid. We are which that we are, and if we allow for these things to happen, nothing will ever change. If we allow for these things to continue happening, nothing will change. Pumpkin Puff, yes, it feels easier to blame myself, but I know that I'm really trying to work on things. So you're good. You know that you're trying really hard to work on things. So be happy with this. Tell yourself, I'm working very hard. This is my best. It's taking time because you have a whole lifetime to undo. Your problem is your expectations and your husband's expectations. I must be healed tomorrow. 100%, just like that. If not, it means that I'm rubbish. I'm not trying hard enough. There's something bad about me. No, You're trying your best. No one wants to be in your shoes. No one wants to be emotionally dysregulated and feel that the whole world is trying to persecute you. No one does that out of choice. Intentionally, consciously, deliberately, no one does. And so I want you to accept that you're doing your best and it's okay. It's a journey, it's a process, it takes time. Let go of the shame again. Let go of the pressure. Oh, I'm rubbish. No. Things happen when they're meant to happen. And as long as you keep doing your best, keep coming to my life, keep talking to me, and I'll always support you as best as I can. And eventually things will start to get better and easier, and things will start to accelerate eventually. But you are doing well already. Don't feel bad about yourself. Don't have expectations that are unrealistic. Otherwise, you will suffer from your own projected disappointment, unmet expectations. Honey bear, I'm in a fight or flight mode and I don't know how to get out of this state because I am in this mode since childhood and don't know different, but it's holding me back. So there's a lot of different things that we can address. First, are there real reasons for you to be in a fight or flight mode? Are you in an environment that requires you to be alert? Are you in danger? Are you in a place where people are toxic? At home, at work? When we have survival mode, for the vast majority of us, it's not needed. It's something that we are into because we have some undealt trauma and we feel that the world is still dangerous and we still don't know how to deal with that. And so the fight-flight is there to keep us on our toes. But there are some instances where it's needed, and so that's why I'm asking you this. Honey bear, what do you believe is getting you into a fight or flight mode? If you can tell me that would give me a great insight as to how to continue the conversation with you. Pumpkin Puff, you said that very well. I'm glad I can replay this live. Yes, please. All my live stay on my channel. And so I think it takes a few hours to be loaded on YouTube. But once I'm done with that, after a few hours, if not straight away, I don't know. But you can access, at least by tomorrow, you'll be able to access that live and replay it in its entirety. I leave them all for people to retrieve information indeed. To play to the spouse. Pumpkin Puff, thank you, Didi, for all of your advice. Of course. JJ Brooks, I was in a very abusive relationship for 7 years. My new boyfriend speaks of marriage, but I don't always want to sleep in a bed with another person. I sleep better alone. Is this normal? It is your normality. You are still feeling unsafe, so it takes time. What I would suggest you is to you've done some work on yourself, I assume, but you want to work so that you get to a point where you can trust your boyfriend and you can sleep in the same bed. Right? If you still are unable to sleep in the same bed with him, it tells me that you still have a lot of work to do. If you don't do it, you can still be married and have a relationship, but it's going to make things a bit more complicated from the beginning. Your body is basically telling you that you're not safe. It doesn't believe that you are safe yet. So maybe by living with him, that over time could actually change the way that you feel and you will be able to eventually let go. But my recommendation is to really make sure that you do what you can now to let go of what you can let go now before you get married. And then keep doing it as you go on that journey. So yes, JJ, what do you say? Pumpkin Puff, how do you not have expectations for yourself or others? When we are looking at our life from the human perspective, we all have expectations. But we want to realize that there's such as too much expectations. It's normal to expect things, as in it's normal to know our preferences. It's normal to know what we like and what we dislike. But just fixating on expectations creates suffering. I want, and we forget that we're not the center of the universe. This is what expectations are about. It's normal in human to have expectations because we all have preferences. But there's a difference between being aware of what we prefer and being obsessed about wanting. And this is expectations. Expectations is the fear of what we don't know. So we want things to be precisely how we think it should be. We're projecting something and it's going to be like that, otherwise we're going to feel very unsafe. And so we must learn how to relax and trust the universe and think, those are my preferences. However, I'm open-minded and I trust you to give me the best in my path at this point in time and in my journey, one moment at a time. Right? Let go of the expectations, focus on now, focus on making the most of what you have, focus on having an open mind and an open heart as much as you can, and then life will be easier rather than expecting. Expectations is trying to control the future. I have expectations, so I believe that only good things in life will happen if they look like that, and if they happen at that time as well, the deadlines. And really, what we want to do is to realize that we have no control over anything. So things happen when it's meant to happen, and the way it's meant to happen. And if we can see that there's beauty in that, then that's enough. Some of the best things that we have in life are things that are not expected at all. Right? I'm sure you can agree with this, Pumpkin Puff, now? Sonia, I know you're right, I've known it for a while, but I've never had the money. I spend what I earn on my children for uniform, clothes, food and transport, etc. I try to save, but never work. It never works. I will try harder. Thank you again so much for all of your advice and help. I think the help you are giving so many people is incredible. Blessings to you. Thank you so much, Sonia. You can change your relationship with money. You find it hard because you have not realized that if you find it difficult to make money or to make more money or to have better relationship with money, is because you have some subconscious blocks about money. And this is what is keeping you into that vicious circle. But if you could expand your relationship with money, if you could be financially independent, then you wouldn't need your husband, right? I think that's the main issue, isn't it? And so I would suggest you take your time, but have a look on that. Use your free time to read up, or come to my live and ask me, and you can absolutely find ways to learn how to have, over time, a better relationship with money, so that you can eventually learn how to do what you need to do and do those things so that eventually you can make money and free yourself from that guy. There's always a solution to everything, but it takes some time, a lot of planning and time. But there's always a way to change everything. It's about you finding your entry point and finding out what is the easiest thing for you or the most important thing for you to address in this moment. Well, within the amount of time and energy that you have to invest into that thing. But eventually, over time, you will create an understanding, a new skill, a momentum that will help you change some of your habits, including your habits of money. M. Pedavol, good to listen to your videos. Thank you, M. Pedavol. Richie, hello. Sonia, how do I replay this live? Please, anyone? I'm going to leave it on my channel, and at some point, YouTube will show it. So I don't know how long it takes, because I can only see things from my perspective. And so I think it takes a few hours, or maybe overnight. Once I'm done, I think it will probably take a few hours. But give it a night, and by tomorrow morning, it will be there. I'm pretty much sure. You can go on my bio, and there's different sections. You have just let me see. So let me go on my YouTube channel. You have home, video, shorts, live, playlist, and post. Click on live. All my live are there, so I'm clicking on it now. There's lots of them, and the one of today is the one, because now I'm starting to put a date on it. So there's a poster. It's purple, and it's the one that says the 3rd of October. And so that's it. just click on it, and you will see me, and you can, remember of all the things that I've spoken about. Thank you, Sonia, for asking. Honeybeer, I lost a lot of people the last 6 years. Toxic relationships and loss of my brother and mother. I'm sorry to hear. I'm alone and have hearing problems, and that gives me anxiety. Okay. So focus on recreating a new life for you. Focus one baby step at a time on doing what you need to do to shape, design, manifest a new reality, a new life for you. So reset, accept that sadly Your family members are gone, and there's nothing you can do about it, they're gone. But what you can do is to change how you feel about it. So the grieving journey is different for everyone. But at some point, you will realize, you know what, it's terrible, it's very sad, but I still have a life to live. There are still people that I can meet and create memories and connection and uh, and purpose with and meaning with. And so, sorry about this. And so, whatever that you are going through, again, life sucks sometimes, and it's the same for all of us. But at some point, you want to find a way to get back on your feet and realize, I accept everything that happened to me. I accept that this is my lot now. I accept that I have problems of hearing, and I've lost some people in my life. However, right now, every moment is a new start. Every moment is a new opportunity for a fresh start. So what can I do now? What are the new skills? What are the new perspectives? What are the new information? What are the new habits that I want to implement in my life to get started with, to develop one baby step at a time so that I can create a better life for me? Reset, accept, and then get started with creating a new life. And so if you feel bad about the loss of your family members, of course you will feel bad about it. Change your mindset about it. Think, once you have healed, because it takes time, once you've been through your all different stages of grief, then change the way you look at it. I didn't lose my mother or my brother because they didn't belong to me. I didn't own them. I've been lucky to have spent some time with them. I have some wonderful memories that I can cherish forever. I have learned and grown as a human being thanks to them. So now you're letting go of the perspective of me missing out something as opposed to I am grateful. Thank you, universe, to have given me the opportunity to have spent some time with my mom and my brother. And I will always have those moments with me. And if I miss them, I can think about them and they will be with me in that moment in my heart. And so that changes everything. It's no longer, I miss something, me, why is it happening to me, I'm alone. Instead is, thank you. We're coming from a place of lack and despair and hurt to a place of gratitude. And the next thing that you want to do is to ask yourself, what would they want for me? They want you to be happy. Do you believe that people who love you want you to be suffering from sadness forever until the end of your life? No. And so what am I going to do? The best thing that you can do to honor the love and the memories that you have of the people that are no longer with you is to be happy, is to have a good life. And so how are you going to make sure that you heal that you come to an end to your grieving journey is to change your mindset and to live happily. You want to do this for you, but also for your mom, for your brother, for anyone who matters to you. Living a happy life is the best way to give back. And now the next thing, you want to address your problems. So you said that you have hearing problems and it's causing you anxiety. So ask yourself, what can I do about this? Can I get hearing aids? Can I use technology today to help me with that? There are tons of stuff that are created every day when it comes to technology. So I'm sure that your hearing problems is going to be fixed very quickly if you find the right things, right? I, for instance, because of my conditions, when I watch television, I always need subtitles. Otherwise, it's very hard. Otherwise, sometimes I watch things on television with my husband. There's no subtitles, and I don't understand anything. I'm like, I speak English. I've been in this country for 28 years or something like that. So my English is okay, but I still just don't get it sometimes if I don't have the subtitles, and that's why I put subtitles in my videos. Because I know that some people are like me, and I want to make sure that everyone has a chance to access the things that I want to talk about. And so, so instead of thinking about your problems, learn how to shift your mindset. So it's a skill that you can develop and see things from a growth mindset perspective instead. What can I do about this? How can I make it better? As opposed to, why is it so hard? Whatever questions you entertain in your mind is going to create specific answers. So if you think, why is it so hard? The answer is going to be, because life is hard and you are rubbish and there's nothing you can do about it. But if you ask yourself, what can I do about this? How can I make it better? Now your mind is going to give you a different type of answer. Maybe you can check out on the internet. Maybe you can do this. Maybe you can practice mindfulness. Maybe you can come and see Didi on live YouTube twice a week whenever I come live here and keep asking me questions. What sort of things you can do. So focus on creating a new self and a new reality for you, one day at a time, one baby step at a time, with no expectations of outcomes, just focusing on changing some aspect of you, and things will start to get easier and kinder and better for you over time. Okay? Does it help? Honey beer? JJ Brooks, thank you. I have been in therapy and working on myself for over a year. I know these things take time. Yes, absolutely. Giuseppe Lipolis, hey there. I just recently started to follow your content. Thank you. And now I found your live. Yes, just wanted to say hi and thank you. Thank you so much. Your support is appreciated. Mohammed, you look Asian. With a big capital letter. Well, yes. Honey beer. I grew up in a situation where I was afraid of getting hit, and I took that fear with me. Also, the reason who I had a toxic relationship. Okay, so having an understanding of those things are very important. Now, the next step is to make sure that you apply this in your life and realize I'm behaving like that. I'm allowing for those things to happen because of that. However, now I'm no longer in that position anymore. Now I'm no longer a helpless child, clueless, confused, with no resource. Now I'm an adult. So I'm going to use my resource as an adult. I'm going to use my intelligence. I'm going to use my imagination. I'm going to use my intuition. I'm going to use my credit card, my freedom. I can do so much more than what I was then. And so that changes everything. Pumpkin Puff. When it comes to my marriage, I do expect what I give to also be what I see my husband give, but I know that is wrong. You can't expect because you're not the same. It's a belief that you want to change. We do this, all of us. It's normal. But we expect for people to behave like us. We expect for people to know what we know, to believe in the same belief, to feel like we feel. And if they don't behave like us, they're wrong. There's something wrong about it. And that's, again, us projecting our self-centeredness in that moment. Instead of realizing, this is my projection, this is my perspective, but he has his own. We all do. And if we can see things from other people's perspective, that's how we start to reconnect. That's how we start to see each other, to understand each other, to listen to each other, to help each other, and to forgive each other, and to move on together. Pumpkin, thank you for your heart. There's a lot of need for control when it comes to my father, and even my mother, but I think I unconsciously gained. I just didn't want my marriage to be like my parents. And you can change this, so it's okay. So you have an awareness of those things, and it's great. Now, next step, apply what you know so that your relationship starts to evolve away from the template of your parents. Honey Bear, it helps. Thank you very much. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Honey Bear. Pumpkin Puff, I didn't see but have you uploaded your long form video yet? Yes, I have. Thank you for asking. Yes, it's out. At this point in time, there's been 23 views and 5 likes. So it's called Nothing Is Your Responsibility. And on the thumbnail, it's a blue one that says Gaslighting Awareness. So yes, I have absolutely uploaded it. Do check it out, please. And let me know in the comment section what you think about it. So for those who are new on the channel, I post 3 short videos every day on TikTok and YouTube. And there's a slight discrepancy. There's 1 month and a half. And so if you follow me on both channels, they're not the same shorts anyway. But I also do 1 long form video every week on YouTube. And I go live twice on YouTube. I go live on TikTok whenever I can. So it's not guaranteed. Whereas on YouTube, for sure, every Wednesdays and Fridays from 6 o'clock up till 8 o'clock p.m. UK time, you will see me here doing my best to answer your queries and give some suggestions. So yes, do follow me, do support me. I appreciate every single one of you. And if you know anyone who needs my help, get them to know about me so that they can ask me questions directly. Lakshya, hi Didi, how are you? I'm very well, Lakshya. How about you? Since Wednesday. Pumpkin Puff, I've mistyped sorry. Okay. Don't miss. There's no need to be sorry about anything, is there? Red Rain, Attachment Theory says, the way we bonded with caregivers as kids shapes how we connect with others as adults. Yes, I agree. Absolutely. Some feel secure, some get anxious about being left, some avoid closeness, and some mix. Yes, those are the basics of psychology, indeed. Yeah. So yes, so in that case, yes. Everything about our relationship with people is down to attachment theory then. Indeed, absolutely. The relationship that we had with our caregivers has created a sense of self. And that sense of self is going to shape a reality that reflects that sense of self. And so we're going to not only allow, but also seek and invite the people who fit that narrative. So if I'm someone who'd never get any love from my parents, then I'm going to believe that I'm not lovable. And I'm going to keep attracting people who are not going to be able to give me love because it doesn't feel right. I'm going to attract people that the love they gave me is going to be conditional, is going to be coming with hurt, pain, deceit, because it feels like the way I felt when I was experiencing love from my caregivers. So yes, absolutely. I didn't connect the word attachment theory with what you said, but yes, yeah. Those are indeed the reasons as to why, until and unless we realize this and we change this, the reason why we keep attracting the same sort of people in our lives. Some people say to me, why do I always attract bad boys or bad girls? And the answer is because you choose them. Since you believe that this is what you deserve, if we believe that being in a household or a relationship that is full of love and peace is not available to you, you attract people who are married, who are emotionally unstable, who are problematic, because those people, your subconscious mind knows that those people will not give you the love that you don't believe you deserve. And so it's even going to make the bad boys or the bad girls exciting. That person is a nice person, but they look so boring. Because, again, our subconscious mind is only attracted by what feels familiar to us. So it's going to come up with all sort of stratagems and schemes to get us to fall into its trap. Our mind wants to protect us by keeping us doing the same things that we have always been doing. What seems normal. And so unless we change our idea of normality, we'll keep repeating the same sort of dynamics in any aspect of our lives. And that includes, it's not just relationships, but also includes how we interact with people in society, how we address our own body and health, and career, and all of those things. It's all due to how we see ourselves. And again, I say this all the time, but I can't highlight enough how everything about our life is down to one thing. How we see ourselves in this life, and as a result of that, how we feel about ourselves within any situation because of how we see ourselves in this life. If we can change that, we change everything. Thank you, Redwin, for that. Pumpkin Puff, thank you. Didi, thank you. Honey Beer, I always stay positive. How hard a situation is, there's always a solution. Good on you, Honey Beer. Laksha Mathur, Didi, can you suggest some online courses, Udemy or Coursera, on psychology or mental well-being or self-help? Much help. I don't, I'm afraid. I've learned through the years by looking after people as a mental health professional and reading tons of books and watching tons of stuff online and speaking to my colleagues and comparing notes and ideas. And so my knowledge is really the result of what I do professionally and my ADHD mind that is obsessed about those things. But I wouldn't have specifically a course in mind that could help you with that. What I think is the best thing to do, because again, psychology is a big field. What I would suggest you is to think about what sort of things you're more interested about. Why do you want to know about psychology? What are the things about psychology that can relate to your own experience of life? Are the things that you want to change? And that will give you a better direction onto what sort of stuff to learn, which books to read, which questions to ask. But I don't have any Udemy course in mind, I'm afraid. Psychology is still something very new and that is evolving and growing every day, even at a professional level. And so, yeah. Come to my live, ask me questions. If you have something specific, tell me, and I can recommend you some books, perhaps. But psychology course, it's a vague, big thing. Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to help you, I'm afraid, Lakshya. Honeybeer, you just have to believe in yourself that you can do it. If you can, yes. Sadly, it's the problem that most of us have. We don't believe in ourselves. The reason we suffer is precisely because we don't believe in ourselves. But if we can, oh, everything is easy. But that's why I agree with you, but we can't say you just have to believe in yourself. Because the just kinds of makes it easy, you just have to believe in yourself. No, it's super hard. No one believes in themselves. And that's precisely why we all suffer. Because we all believe that we're not enough, we're not worthy, we're not lovable, we can't do it, we're not important enough, we don't matter, our voice doesn't matter, we're invisible. And because of that, we all suffer. Right? But I agree with you, if we could believe in ourselves, that would fix everything. And this is precisely what healing is about. It's about learning how to trust ourselves, how to trust the universe, how to trust that things are going to be okay, so that we can let go of the fear, of the anxiety, of the feeling of unsafety, of the needing to be always alert and think things and overthink. Meg, this is why I stay single, laughing face emoji. Okay. I wish you to come to terms with whatever is getting you to stay single, and when you are ready, hopefully open yourself up again and meet people in your life. But I understand what you mean. Sometimes being single can be the best solution for now. Pumpkin Puff, do you recommend anything from Dr. Gabor Mate? I recommend everything from Dr. Gabor Mate. Yeah. So if you have so this is a very good comment for Laksha. If you have interest in psychology, read any book from Gabor Mate. Read all of them. There's nothing he has written that are not excellent. So Gabor Mate, there you go. Thank you for your intervention, Pumpkin Puff. Laksha at Meg, haha, same here, single as always, can't get a girl. Meg, it's easier, ha ha ha. Okay. Willow Princess, do you have advice on how to change that lack of self-belief? It's a process that lasts a lifetime for many of us, but it doesn't have to last a lifetime. We want to find out. So this is what self-development journey is about. Self-awareness, working on ourselves, healing, for those who need to heal from problematic patterns of behavior. But also anything about personal development and growth is about this precisely. So it's a journey, so it's different for everyone. Do you have any advice? My advice is to just get started on that journey and open your mind and learn about yourself, learn about psychology, as in understanding the mechanics of your own mind and your own past. I'm not sure. If I know more about you, I'll be able to help you out. But just based on what you say, one advice to change the lack of self-belief is to find out what works best for you. I can't give you a system that will work for you because I don't know you, and there's not a single system in the world that works for everyone. There's, however, at least one or more system that will work for you at this point in time in your journey. Yeah. So do you want to tell me about yourself? Well, why is it, why do you believe your lack of self-belief? Laksha at Meg, sometimes I get bored, bro, so I think having a girlfriend is good. Okay. Meg, thanks, Didi. I hope so too in time. Okay, fantastic. Honey Beer, it's a strange thought that the biggest addiction in the world is people who are looking for happiness. Happiness is in yourself and in your self-love. It's not an addiction. We all want to be happy because it feels right. But I think I understand what you're coming from. You're saying that a lot of us were in the pursuit of happiness, and we don't realize that happiness is not to be pursued, is to be revealed from the inside out. So I would agree with that. Yes. Sonia, I'm worried he will find out I have been on here now. Major anxiety. Let go of that anxiety. Whatever happens, learn how to deal with the situation then. So it's a process, and I know I can hear from your own words that you have a lot of baggage. But I would suggest you is to spend time working on changing how you feel about all those things. Realize that you are safe and you have been living in an illusion that he may have reinforced over the years, but you're actually much stronger than you think you are. You are much more smarter than you think you are. You're much more capable than you think you are. You need to remind yourself that you can do a lot of things. You can say no. If he hurts you, you can call the police. You can do all sorts of things. We can all do those things. But it's about you reminding yourself of that power. So maybe in meditation or when you sleep at night, think about the success that you had, the good things that happen in your life, the things that you have created for yourself. Think about your kids. Fantastic, wonderful things to have created, right? And be aware that you've done this. You are amazing. You are powerful. You have power. Do this more and more, and that will remind you that indeed you can do things. When your husband is around, if he's terrifying you, just tell him, I do what I want. You don't get to tell me what I do. I'm interested about psychology. I'm going to watch video on YouTube and F off. Learn how to do these things within your zone of comfort and expand that comfort zone more and more all the time, like a skill that you develop. But remind yourself that you have power. You're not victim. You're not defenseless. You're not helplessness. You're not a child anymore. You're a grown-up. And you may feel very often that you are overpowered by your husband, but that's only because it's a dynamic that you have both allowed and reinforced over time. Yeah. But do keep coming and ask me. I want to help you out, and I'd be happy to always give you some suggestions for as long as you come onto my live streams. Lynn, I was attracting certain types of men as I didn't feel worthy of unconditional love due to low self-esteem. I was always told by my mum that I was a replacement for the triplets they lost. I'm sorry to hear. Yeah. Pumpkin Puff. Good to know. I trust your opinion. I've been hearing some recommendations for his books, so I was just wondering what your opinion was. Okay, yes, Gabor Mate, fantastic. He's one of my favorite people to read and learn from. There's another one that I often talk about called Robert Sapolsky. But his work is more is more difficult to read, so it's not for everyone, and it's from a biology perspective. It's from a neuroscience and biology perspective, more than the more classical psychology kind of space. Crazy Catty. Hello everyone. Hello Sonia. Also, get well wishes for your cough chest. Wishing you well. Thank you so much. Pumpkin Puff. I know it's almost 8, so I hope you have a good night's sleep and feel better soon. Yes, oh gosh, it's 8 already. Okay, so I'm going to read the comment quickly, but I'm going to go now. Guys, if you liked it, thank you for being here up to this end. If you have more questions, I'm going to read them very quickly, but I will not have time to answer them. However, I come live every week, twice a week on YouTube. So if you enjoy this and you're happy to come back, every Wednesday and Friday from 6 o'clock p.m. UK time, from 6 to 8, you can see me here and ask me anything. So make sure that you subscribe if you haven't already, so that you know when I'm going live and you can join and invite your friends. International Cyber Defense. Konnichiwa. I'm not Japanese, but okay. Willow, it's conditioning and programming from family and environment from childhood throughout life. Yes, I've been working on it for years. It's heavy, deep work. Yes, indeed. Meg, feel better soon. Take some zinc. Yes, we'll do. Craig McBride. Didi, you've got a right code, brother. Your depth of knowledge and understanding shines through. Great work. Thank you so much, Craig. Susan Kshu, are you Japanese? No, I'm not. Rana Smith, see you next time. Honeybee, I think Indonesian. I'm not Indonesian. I'm not Japanese. Let me blow my nose and before I say goodbye. If you want to find out where I'm from, you've got to come back on my next live and subscribe first. Guys, I love you all. Thank you so much for everything. I get why you say Indonesian. Someone told me not long ago that my name, Didikan, means education in Indonesian. It's just a coincidence. It's just a coincidence, and I can explain it next time if you want. Guys, I love you all. Thank you for watching. Do follow me both on YouTube and TikTok if you will, and come back to my next live. And also, if you have any queries about me as a therapist and coach, on my bio there's a link to my website, so we can organize a free discovery call and see if we can work together, if that's one of the things that you'd like to do with me. Okay, guys, I love you all. Look after yourself. Be kind to people, to others, if you can. And if you can't, remember to be at least be kind to yourself. Mongolian because of Genghis. Okay, that's fair enough. Very quickly, my granddad is actually from the north of China, not far away from Mongolia. So Genghis has been very busy. So it's not just me, but I believe that indeed my last name is to do with with Genghis being busy a long time ago. Anyway, Meg, much love. Vanna Smith, hearts emoji. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. See you next Wednesday or next Friday. And again, the video can be found and replayed in a few hours on my profile. Bye now.